Hey guys, how are you guys doing? It's another fine morning that we should look in the Word of God. Today we are talking about Naaman the rapper. He was a rapper, but in the long run, God had mercy on him and he healed him and he changed his life. So today we are talking about a person who is victorious when he is on the battle, or when he is outside, or when he is doing other things, but when he goes back into the house, or when he goes back home, he goes back into his closet, he is either depressed, he has leprosy, he is either having some issues, maybe with his family, he is either having some problem or either sickness. But when you look him in the outside, he is good. That's what was happening with this guy. This guy, God had given him so many victories in the long run, but when he gets home, he is a rapper. But the good thing with our God, and why you should always be good to other people, is that Naaman, he had a maid, or he had a girl who he had taken from Israel, and this girl was working for him. And this girl, when he was working for him, I think Naaman was good to this girl, because this girl, for her getting to a point of telling Naaman that there is a prophet back at my place, at my home ground, that means there was a good relationship between Naaman and this lady and the family. That's why it's always good. It doesn't matter if you have employed people. It doesn't matter if you have maid at your house. It doesn't matter any person who is below you. Be careful, because a miracle can be at your door. But the problem with you is that maybe you are despising the person who is next to you. Maybe wherever is your miracle, you are pressing it down. You are stepping on it. That's why it's always good to be good to other people. And a singer sang a song and said that Newega kwiru tawekaga wega Newongega kaya wihatikaine Shekosha kwiga tomokariri kanu Malaitha namaku mahutiegai. So either, this is my assumption, either Naaman was good. Maybe Naaman was good to this guy, that this guy got to a point to tell him that I have seen my master. He's going through some issues. But if he could go back home, there is a prophet who is well able to hear him of his leprosy. And the leprosy was a bad disease. Leprosy, in that time, you are supposed to be cast out. And you are supposed to be cast out in the city, and you had to have yourself some bells tied in your legs, so that when you go out and you be shouting that there is a rapper who is coming through. So beware, because there is a rapper who is coming through. It was a dangerous disease, but God had given favor to Naaman, so that because God wanted to show Naaman that in the long run, that there is a God in Israel. Because Naaman being in the house and not yet been caught, God, he is the only one who can be able to hide you and to keep you secure in your house, even when other people are being thrown outside because of leprosy. Haman was in the house. He had a family, and nobody who used to say nothing. And the other thing that I love about the woman who Naaman had, is that she was loyal to Naaman. And she never disposed the weakness of Naaman. Even the maid who knew that my master has a problem, or he had a sickness. If you know a problem of maybe a friend, maybe a boss, maybe your boss is going through an issue, maybe your master is going through an issue, because they are treating, you are not supposed to raise an alarm for them, because if this maid would have raised an alarm for Naaman, who knows, maybe Naaman would have been cast out, but they ate cool, and they were cool with it until Naaman got healed. And they were still staying in the same house. He had leprosy, but regardless, they were home as a family. That's why you should choose your friend wisely. Choose the people who you run with wisely. Are they royal? Are they not royal? So it's good, and it's always good to be a royal person, you yourself. So let's go down and see what happens. So this guy knows that he has leprosy. And this guy, he had access to the king. And he goes to the king and tells the king that there is a maid who is at my house. And she tells me that when I go to our neighbors, that there is somebody who can be able to heal me. So you see, they already said that it is the prophet who is supposed to heal. But because of the pride of Naaman, Naaman went straight to the king. Because kings interact with kings, so the letter had to be sent to the king. So let's hear how it says quick, so that we can be able to go to the next level. This is what it says from 2 Kings 5. That now Naaman, commander of an army of the king of Israel, was a great and a honorable man in the eyes of his master. So that's why it's always great to be, when you're given a job, do it good. Be honorable, be a man of honor. Stop cutting corners, because the dead end is always one of the streets which are below you. So make sure when you're doing even your job that God has given unto you, do it as you are doing it unto